Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So just yesterday we got a new lockbox which contains a new mount and a new companion, both of which we need to test out and see if they work how they say they do. Be aware, phase 3 of the current battle pass has begun. You can obtain some other useful rewards, including, if you have the premium pass, a new bountiful bag with 84 slots. The Coins of Joaquin event has also returned with the Shroud of Fortune cape, Glimmering Mimic Vanity Pet, and the ability to get Insignia Powder. The event plays out the same as it has all the previous times. You're simply going to collect these pouches by killing enemies and then trade them in here for rewards, or opening them and getting these coins. But let's have a look at this new lockbox. It will be running up until August the 26th. I've gone ahead and opened 250 of these. We got the usual rewards with regards to random companions, mounts, health stones, trade bars, and ultimately, yes, we got the choice pack where we could claim the new companion, and we randomly dropped the new mount. The drop rates seem to be as expected on the tooltip. So having a quick look at the mount, the equip bonus can be somewhat useful for the movement speed, and then it's just crit strike and defense. The combat power is what makes this mount one of the best if it works to use in a group setting as a tank or a healer to support the team. You can see it's got 4 insignia slots, and it's got these following insignia bonuses. Only the ones with double barbed can be used with the preferred slot, so Cavalry's Haste and Magistrate's Patience. We will equip it and have a look. This is the mount up animation, and there you go. Your Phantom Panther reminds me a lot of, say, the Rainbow Starry Panther, but as many of you pointed out, it's kind of a reskin of a lot of other Panthers. Now we'll have a look at the ability. Does that actually work? We look at our base damage, just attacking the dummy. We find 14,676, which is pretty much as expected via the math. And when we cast the mount on our dummy, we get the icon that it's triggered on it. And we look at our damage. Effectiveness has gone up to 77.2. That's a good sign. And damage increased to 16,987. Which, if we excuse a little bit of rounding, is near enough what we're getting. We can compare that versus the Undead Lion, which is supposed to be also 16%, and we get the same value. So it's correct, it works properly. This means the mount is pretty much tied with the glorious Undead Lion, same damage boost in a dungeon, 5-player content. And that's at these levels of buffs and debuffs. As for a trial group, a 10-man content, this is again tied with the glorious Undead Lion, 3rd and 4th position there at 6.4% gain. You can see the math just here at these levels. And that's all because of artifact calls when you all have support mounts and artifacts to cast, with of course damage dealers using damage dealer mounts. So it's highly effective and very good to get, with that ability to have Cavalry's Haste with the preferred insignia, which is very powerful for those artifact calls to make sure you can output 2 sets of encounter powers. But now let's have a look at the new companion. This one has a questionable ability. Right here, Soul Rupture, reducing 0.5% accuracy and awareness per stack on its target. We'll have to test, is it really that ineffective, or is it actually broken? We can have a quick demonstration of what the companion looks like, but we will go to the training room to test her properly, and we can see her perform her abilities here. She is a bit of a ranged companion, just casting her abilities from afar. Her main attack is that Soul Rupture, which you see her do all the time here. And about every 10 seconds or so, she'll put that shield on you, 7.5% of your max health. And she should have this Temptation Nova every 15 seconds, where she bursts outwards, 30-foot radius. I will go to my testing character. Both of these lockbox rewards are account wide, so you can claim them here. The companion. So here at the boss, you can see she's doing those attacks and she's applying those stacks. They each last for 10 seconds, so she has no problem maintaining them. We will be able to get a read on her damage output, but we can also go ahead and test our own damage and see how effective is this buff really. Because reducing the enemy's awareness should effectively give us a boost in damage via combat advantage damage whenever we're flanking our monster, which we are right now with that conjured fighter. So looking at our base damage hits, comparing our stats, and calculating with the formula, we find it's in fact 5% awareness reduction per stack. So this companion is in fact reducing the enemy's stats by 5% per stack. So a 25% total. This results in, yes, a massive damage boost of over 18% at this level. This does indeed get diminished when we have a higher level combat advantage. As you can see, now it's only like 11.36%. And then we have other bonuses which can reduce awareness further, like dulled senses, 9%, fighters enforced threat, this grace ring, and the Bard or Warlock armor piece, totaling to minus 27.5%, and if we add the companion now to that, you're at 52.5%, which is just over a 10% damage gain. But that is still really crazy for one companion. Currently, when you look at other damage boosting companions, they're at a maximum of like 3.79% effectiveness. And that is with giving stats, which you may be able to cap without this. And then the best is just Drizzt with 3%. So do not be surprised if this companion gets nerfed. I don't know if it's intended to work like this. The average player, when they see 0.05%, will probably shrug this off as not very effective. But those of you who are in the know by watching this video, again, I don't recommend investing in this companion right now without confirmation from the devs that it will stay that way. It could get changed at any moment and you'll lose that value of having purchased it. Now, it is very likely the companion will still remain in a competitive state if they do decide to nerf it, as they very justifiably could change it to just a total of a 10% awareness reduction. That would result still in an overall of a 4% damage gain against the target. Even more so when not in such a stacked group where you've got all those bonuses as we mentioned earlier. But yes, right now she's highly effective. Looking at then the companion's damage herself, is she any good to use as a damage dealer? We see she actually is. 184,000 encounter DPS will rank her versus my other damage tests well above everything. They have really made this companion literally the best to use in both an end game setting to support the team's damage output and literally having the best damage. Something I would also like to check is whether or not this Soul Rupture stacks amongst multiple other companions, because that would truly be broken. This is how I do all my companion tests. I let them go for at least 10 minutes or so, and we can snapshot that DPS. This is just average damage per second, so it's irrespective of how long the fight is. So there you go, a very solid top position, with her being literally the best party buff companion for supporting damage. We can then have a quick look at her ability. It goes in a utility or defense slot, and whenever you're critically struck, you have that chance to deal damage around you and drain the target's defense. We should be just fine using these together. This is a debuff from the companion. We will use the dummy that then attacks us, and we can instantly see it's got Spiteful Hex on him. So we're going to have this up very reliably. Only issue is the companion does more damage than me. So we can see our base damage, 36,000. That checks out. And then when we get Spiteful Presence on the boss, as we see here, our damage goes to 37,900, which should be a 4.5% defense reduction. It appears more likely to be an actual 5% defense reduction rather than 4.5, which just makes it even better. So it works, and honestly, it's pretty much the best ability to have as a tank to support your team with damage output. It's going to be one of the staple ones that teams will want you to have. So right now, this new companion is pretty busted. Just be aware, it will very likely get changed. So don't invest in it now and just wait until the devs confirm if it's in its intended state or not. That Soul Rupture just seems far more powerful than intended. It's a new dev team, so they're kind of new to these thing creating companions. They've certainly made a few mess ups as of late, but hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes. But that's it for the video. A special thank you to all the channel members for your extra support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys around.